Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine for a moment the way you approach food. How you stand in your kitchen, perhaps after a long day, thinking about the meals you prepare, the choices you make, the spices you sprinkle over your dishes. For many of us, food is not just sustenance, it is comfort, it is ritual, it is life itself. And yet, within that daily routine, hidden in plain sight, are interactions between foods that can subtly, almost imperceptibly, begin to undermine your health, especially as we age, especially after 60. There is one humble, golden, colored spice that has been lauded around the world for decades, perhaps centuries: turmeric. You've seen it in health magazines, in wellness blogs, in the advice of every nutritionist at some point. Turmeric is a miracle. It fights inflammation, it supports joint health, it even protects your brain. And this is true. Turmeric, when consumed correctly, has remarkable properties. Its active compound, curcumin, is a powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. Studies suggest it can help modulate the immune system, support cardiovascular health, and even play a role in regulating blood sugar levels. But, and this is a crucial but, like any powerful substance, turmeric does not operate in isolation. Its benefits can be neutralized or, worse, can turn into harm when paired incorrectly with other foods. Let me share a story. A patient of mine, a vibrant woman named Margaret, 63 years old, came to me complaining of worsening digestive discomfort and unusual fatigue. She had always been health conscious, a fan of turmeric in her morning teas and soups. She swore she was doing everything right. Yet every week she felt weaker, bloated, and noticed persistent joint pain. After a careful review of her diet, we discovered a pattern. Margaret was consuming turmeric alongside excessive black pepper in her meals, believing it would enhance absorption. What she didn't know is that for some individuals, especially those over 60, this combination can exacerbate gastrointestinal irritation, increase acidity, and interfere with the delicate balance of nutrients that her aging digestive system relied upon. You see, the digestive tract of a 30-year-old is not the same as that of a 60-year-old. As we age, the lining of our stomach thins slightly, the production of certain digestive enzymes declines, and the microbiome, the intricate ecosystem of bacteria and microorganisms in our gut, shifts in composition. Turmeric, when combined with foods that amplify its irritative effects, can become a source of chronic low-level inflammation rather than the soothing anti-inflammatory we expect it to be. This is not fear-mongering. This is physiology, plain and simple. Another patient, George, 67, had been drinking turmeric lattes with milk every morning. He loved the warmth, the ritual, and the taste. But over the course of months, he noticed swelling in his ankles and occasional abdominal discomfort. At first, he brushed it off as just aging. But a careful dietary assessment revealed the culprit: turmeric and dairy, particularly full-fat milk. In some individuals, especially those with subclinical gallbladder or liver inefficiencies, a condition more common after 60, this combination can slow digestion and trigger subtle but chronic metabolic stress. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens quietly, almost imperceptibly, until the body begins to show signs of strain. And it's not just pepper and dairy. Another hidden hazard exists in the combination of turmeric with raw cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, kale, or cabbage, particularly when consumed in large quantities. Cruciferous vegetables are extraordinary in their own right, rich in fiber, vitamins, and plant compounds that support detoxification. Yet, in some older adults, the high concentration of sulfur compounds can interact with turmeric, potentially causing gastrointestinal discomfort, bloating, and a feeling of heaviness. The biochemical interactions here are subtle but real, linked to enzyme pathways in the liver and the metabolism of curcumin. Now, I want you to understand this not as a reason to fear turmeric, but as a call to precision and mindfulness. In medicine, as in life, context is everything. A treatment that is miraculous for one person can be neutral or even harmful to another, not because the substance is bad, but because the context in which it is applied changes everything. The same principle applies to nutrition. Your age, your digestion, your liver function, your microbiome, the medications you may be taking, all of these factors influence whether a food is healing or harmful. Let me take you deeper into the science, because understanding the why empowers us to act differently. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, is metabolized in the liver, processed through complex enzymatic pathways, and ultimately either absorbed or excreted. When combined with certain foods that accelerate its metabolism or create gastrointestinal stress, curcumin may not reach its target organs in the way it is supposed to. In fact, excessive pairing with fat, heavy dairy, black pepper, or raw cruciferous vegetables can sometimes produce metabolic byproducts that stress the liver, slow detoxification, or irritate the gut lining. For someone under 40, these effects might be minor or negligible. But after 60, when the resilience of these systems naturally declines, the cumulative effect over weeks, months, or years can be significant. I see it every day in my clinical practice. Patients come in confident that they are following all the latest health trends, consuming turmeric in golden lats, capsules, soups, and teas. And yet, a closer look reveals a silent pattern of subtle inflammation, digestive discomfort, or unexplained fatigue. Sometimes it manifests as elevated liver enzymes, sometimes as minor anemia, sometimes as joint discomfort or fluid retention. And often, the connection to diet, especially turmeric combined with certain foods, is missed entirely. This is why it is so critical to approach nutrition with the same precision we apply to medicine. Just as we would not prescribe a medication without understanding interactions, we should not assume that every food is universally safe in every combination. Turmeric has incredible potential, but potential is only realized when we respect its complexity and the context in which it is consumed. I recall another case, a man named Robert, 72, a retired engineer with a lifetime of meticulous health habits. He started taking turmeric supplements alongside his breakfast of spinach, walnuts, and a smoothie rich in raw vegetables. Initially, he felt energetic, almost invincible, but over months, he developed chronic bloating and mild discomfort after meals. It turned out that the combination of turmeric with high fiber, raw vegetables led to delayed gastric emptying, particularly given his slightly diminished digestive enzyme activity. A simple adjustment, pairing turmeric with cooked vegetables or moderate healthy fats, transformed his digestive comfort and energy levels within weeks. The lesson here is not that turmeric is dangerous, it is that knowledge, awareness, and careful pairing are crucial. Now, some of you might be wondering, why does this only seem to matter after 60? The answer is rooted in the natural progression of human physiology. As we age, the efficiency of our liver and kidneys slowly declines. Our microbiome shifts, sometimes losing species that help us metabolize compounds like curcumin. Inflammation, which we may not feel day to day, begins to simmer quietly, and our capacity to buffer stressors, from food, from environment, from minor infections, diminishes. What was harmless in our 40s or 50s can become a subtle threat in our 60s and beyond. That is why these food interactions matter, not just theoretically, but practically and urgently. We must also acknowledge the emotional dimension of eating. Many of us reach for turmeric as a form of self-care, a ritual of wellness, a daily reminder that we are investing in our health. When these choices inadvertently harm us, it is profoundly disheartening. I have seen the worry in patients' eyes when they realize that something they believed to be purely beneficial may have been contributing to discomfort or fatigue. It is a reminder that the journey to health is never purely mechanical. It is deeply human, requiring empathy, education, and awareness. But here is the empowering truth. Once we understand these interactions, we can transform them into opportunities for health, longevity, and vibrancy. By learning the 3 key combinations to avoid after 60, we can continue to harness the incredible benefits of turmeric without compromise. By respecting the wisdom of our bodies, listening to subtle signals of discomfort, and adjusting our habits accordingly, We do not give up the golden benefits of this miraculous spice, we unlock them. Let's explore these three critical combinations in real life terms so you can truly understand how subtle dietary choices can have a profound impact after 60. The first, as I mentioned earlier, is turmeric with excessive black pepper. You may have heard that a pinch of black pepper enhances curcumin absorption dramatically, and this is true up to a point. Piperine, the active compound in black pepper, does increase curcumin bioavailability, but in older adults, too much can overstimulate the digestive tract. I recall Eleanor, a 65-year-old retired schoolteacher, who loved her nightly turmeric tea spiced liberally with black pepper. Within months, she developed chronic acid reflux and a sense of heaviness after meals. Simple adjustments, reducing pepper and incorporating turmeric in cooked dishes rather than raw, restored her comfort and digestive harmony. It's a reminder that even beneficial interactions can become harmful when the body's resilience has changed. The second combination to avoid is turmeric with full-fat dairy. Milk and cream are comforting, creamy, and often used to make golden lattes or turmeric smoothies, but after 60, these combinations can slow digestion and in some cases, stress the liver. I remember Rajiv, a 70-year-old man who adored his morning turmeric milk. He came to me complaining of swelling in his hands and ankles, coupled with a persistent sense of lethargy. Blood tests revealed mild liver enzyme elevation. We realized that his routine, though seemingly harmless, was placing cumulative metabolic stress on his liver. By switching to turmeric infused in almond milk or warm water with a touch of healthy fats like olive oil or coconut oil, his energy levels returned, swelling subsided, and he felt a renewed sense of vitality. The lesson here is profound minor changes in how we combine foods can make a dramatic difference in health outcomes. The third, and perhaps least intuitive, combination is turmeric with large amounts of raw cruciferous vegetables. While kale, broccoli, and cabbage are nutritional powerhouses, when combined with turmeric in substantial raw quantities, they can contribute to bloating, delayed digestion, and subtle gut inflammation in older adults. I think of Linda, 68, a devoted health enthusiast, who began each day with a raw kale smoothie blended with turmeric. Within weeks, she experienced persistent abdominal bloating and mild cramping. Once she adjusted to lightly steaming her vegetables or incorporating them in smaller, more digestible portions, the discomfort vanished. Here, biology and patience intersect. The digestive system after 60 has changed in efficiency, and recognizing these nuances transforms eating from guesswork into a precise act of care. Now, I want you to consider this. Turmeric itself is not the enemy. The problem arises from a mismatch between the aging body and certain combinations. In neuroscience, we speak often about cumulative microstressors. Small, repeated challenges that the body barely notices in isolation, but that can profoundly affect brain function, inflammatory balance, and overall vitality over time. Food, in this sense, is no different. If we combine turmeric incorrectly, we introduce microstressors, silent irritants that chip away at our health without announcing themselves loudly. And because these effects are subtle, many of us dismiss them, attributing fatigue, bloating, or discomfort to just aging, rather than to specific, correctable patterns in our diet. Science offers clarity. Research has demonstrated that curcumin metabolism is highly context-dependent. Its absorption, distribution, and ultimate efficacy are influenced by enzymatic activity in the liver, bile secretion, gut microbiota composition, and the presence of other compounds in foods. With age, bile production may diminish, gut flora may shift, and liver metabolism may slow. That means what once supported health in our 40s may, if not adjusted thoughtfully, create a cascade of minor metabolic challenges in our 60s. But here is the empowering truth. Understanding these interactions allows us to continue enjoying the golden benefits of turmeric without compromise. Let me share another patient story, because stories are where the abstract becomes tangible. Helen, a 71-year-old retired nurse, was an avid believer in turmeric's health promoting properties. She would mix it liberally into her morning tea and incorporate it into every meal. Over time, she began noticing persistent fatigue, mild joint swelling, and digestive heaviness. At first, she resisted the idea that her beloved turmeric might be part of the problem. But a careful review revealed that she had been pairing turmeric with three things: black pepper in excess, full fat milk, and large amounts of raw cruciferous vegetables. By making small adjustments, reducing pepper, swapping dairy for plant-based alternatives, and lightly cooking her vegetables, she experienced dramatic improvement within weeks. Her energy returned, joint discomfort eased, and she regained the vitality she had feared was fading with age. This story is emblematic of a broader truth: small, informed choices in dietary combinations can dramatically alter the aging experience. But why stop at avoidance? There is also immense power in proactive pairing. Turmeric's benefits are maximized when combined with moderate amounts of healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or coconut oil, which enhance curcumin absorption safely. It thrives alongside cooked vegetables that reduce gut irritation and complement anti-inflammatory pathways. Warm, easily digestible beverages, gentle seasonings, and mindful eating practices allow the body to integrate turmeric's benefits fully. When approached with intentionality, turmeric becomes not a risk, but a tool of transformation, supporting joint mobility, cardiovascular health, cognitive function, and overall longevity. Consider too the emotional and psychological dimension of these adjustments. Food is deeply tied to ritual, memory, and comfort. For someone who has celebrated life with golden turmeric lattes, soups, and curries, being told to change these habits can feel restrictive. Yet, when approached as a guided evolution, an opportunity to align ancient wisdom with modern science, the change becomes empowering rather than limiting. Patients often describe a renewed sense of control over their health, a reconnection with their bodies, and a deep gratitude for learning the subtleties of how age and food interact. As I speak to you today, I want you to leave with three concrete, transformative insights. First, respect the power of turmeric. It is potent, effective, and life-enhancing when applied thoughtfully. Second, understand that age changes everything. What was safe and easy at 40 may need nuance and adjustment at 60 and beyond. Third, small, informed changes can have monumental impacts. Avoid excessive black pepper, reconsider full, fat dairy, and moderate raw cruciferous vegetables when pairing with turmeric. Implement these adjustments, and you will not just preserve your health, you will actively enhance it day by day. Imagine a life where fatigue does not define your mornings, where digestion is smooth and effortless, where inflammation is managed without constant medication, and where your golden years are vibrant, active, and full of joy. This is not fantasy. It is the direct result of understanding the interactions of your food, respecting the wisdom of your body, and applying evidence-based knowledge with mindfulness. When we honor the science of nutrition alongside the art of listening to our bodies, we transform everyday choices into acts of profound self-care. Turmeric becomes more than a spice, it becomes a partner in your health journey, a tool that amplifies well-being rather than a source of hidden stress. And isn't that the essence of aging gracefully? Not merely surviving, not merely extending life, but thriving with intelligence, awareness, and joy. I encourage you to carry this knowledge into your kitchens, your dining tables, and your lives. Observe how your body responds, adjust thoughtfully, and remember that even after 60, we are fully capable of optimizing our health in ways that feel intuitive, natural, and sustainable. Science has given us the tools, experience has given us the stories, and now awareness gives us power. Your golden years can indeed be golden, not just in memory or sentiment, but in physical vitality, cognitive clarity, emotional resilience, and deep, ongoing enjoyment of life's pleasures. By mastering the subtle art of food interactions, by understanding the three turmeric combinations to avoid, and by pairing knowledge with mindfulness, you are taking control of your health in a profound way. So I ask you today, approach each meal not just as nourishment, but as an opportunity. See it as a conversation between you and your body, a dialogue in which every ingredient has meaning, every combination carries consequence, and every choice is a chance to enhance your life. Turmeric, that humble golden spice, can be your ally, your shield, and your source of vitality if, and only if, you honor the science, respect your body, and make mindful choices in every bite. This is the power of knowledge applied to daily living. This is the gift of awareness and intentionality. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the pathway to a healthful, vibrant, and deeply satisfying life after 60. Let us delve further into the human dimension of these lessons, because health is never just science, it is lived experience, emotion, and the narrative of our lives. I think of Marjorie, 69, who had spent decades caring for others, her family, her community, her work, always putting her own needs last. She came to me exhausted, her joints stiff, her digestion unpredictable. She had incorporated turmeric faithfully into her diet, believing she was safeguarding her health. Yet the combination of turmeric with raw cruciferous vegetables and heavy dairy had created silent, chronic strain. Once we adjusted her diet thoughtfully, her energy surged, her joint pain eased, and she described feeling reborn in a way that was both physical and emotional. She told me, with tears in her eyes, that the most remarkable aspect was not just relief from discomfort, but a newfound sense of empowerment. For decades, she had thought her health was slipping inevitably with age. Now she realized that informed choices could restore vitality even after 60. And this, my friends, is the profound insight I wish to leave you with today. Age does not mean surrender. Age does not mean that the body inevitably falters, that fatigue, inflammation, or cognitive decline are unavoidable. What age does demand is respect, mindfulness, and a willingness to align our actions with the changing needs of our physiology. Turmeric is simply one example, a lens through which we can understand the broader principle that knowledge, awareness, and subtle adjustments can transform the aging experience. Consider too the story of Samuel, 72, who had been a skeptic of nutritional guidance his whole life. He believed his morning turmeric tea, paired with heavy pepper and butter, was harmless. Over time, he experienced mild swelling, subtle cognitive fog, and a sense of lethargy he attributed to age. It was only after careful tracking of his diet, paired with small, evidence-based adjustments, that Samuel began to notice clarity of mind, renewed energy, and an almost immediate improvement in joint comfort. He called it the gift of understanding, a gift that cost nothing but attention and care, yet offered everything in return. Science backs this human experience. Studies in older adults consistently show that subtle modifications in food combinations, timing, and preparation methods can have measurable effects on inflammation markers, liver and kidney function, and cognitive health. The foods we choose, and how we combine them, do not just influence our bodies in the short term, they shape our aging trajectory, our resilience, and the quality of every day thereafter. Turmeric, golden and radiant in its properties, is most powerful when treated not as a magic cure, but as a precise, context-aware tool in a larger, mindful approach to health. But let's speak frankly, knowledge alone is not enough. Awareness without action is like understanding a map but refusing to step forward. Each of you has the opportunity, today, tomorrow, and every day, to transform your health. Begin by observing your current routines. Notice which foods you pair with turmeric. Reflect on how your body responds, energy levels, digestion, joint comfort, mental clarity. Then make small, deliberate changes. Moderate black pepper, consider plant-based or light dairy alternatives, lightly cook cruciferous vegetables, and pair turmeric with gentle, healthy fats. These are not radical interventions, they are precise, thoughtful calibrations. And as you do, remember the emotional and spiritual dimension of these choices. Eating is not just biochemical, it is an act of self-respect, of love, of attentiveness. Each mindful adjustment is a message to your body. I see you. I honor you, and I will support you with care. After 60, these small acts of care become monumental. They are investments in vitality, clarity, and longevity. They are affirmations that your life, your health, your energy, and your joy remain fully within your sphere of influence. I want you to imagine, for a moment, a morning 10 years from now. You rise easily, your joints supple, your mind alert. You move through your day with confidence and energy, engaging fully in your work, your hobbies, your relationships. You enjoy meals without discomfort, knowing that each bite nourishes rather than strains your body. That vision is not fantasy, it is attainable, grounded in knowledge, awareness, and thoughtful application. Turmeric is not just a spice in this vision, it is a partner in your thriving, a symbol of the broader principle that every choice matters, that every adjustment counts, and that the body, even after 60, can flourish when treated with understanding and care. And so, I leave you with this final thought. Let us approach our health not with fear, not with resignation, but with curiosity, intention, and reverence. Every meal, every spice, every combination is an opportunity to communicate with our bodies, to honor the decades we have lived, and to create the decades yet to come. Turmeric, golden and potent, can be an ally, a source of strength, a catalyst for well-being, but only when paired with wisdom, precision, and respect for the changes that come with age. May you walk away today inspired not only by the power of turmeric, but by the broader truth it represents, that even after 60, every choice, every adjustment, every mindful act can transform your health, your energy, and your life. May you approach each meal, each spice, and each day with intention, awareness, and gratitude for the incredible gift of your body, your mind, and your years ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, the golden years are not a time to merely endure, they are a time to flourish. And it begins with awareness, it continues with thoughtful action, and it culminates in the radiant, vibrant health that each of us deserves. Thank you.